It's finally here, the weekend we have all been waiting for. We will find out the winner of the 2021 Fantasy Pros Baseball Podcast, leading off, presented by Manscaped, Home Run Call Champion. And in order to make sure we go off on the right foot, we have a special 4-person podcast. With me, your host, Brennan Tuma, is Mike Mayer. We have the return of Joe Pisapia, and of course, Dinger Dan Harris. Mr. Harris, you are all of our bosses, so it is in good form to start with you. How are we this morning?
Pretty miserable, for obvious reasons. This is probably. I mean, there were several permutations of this final regular season show. This was my last choice of what they could be. I was overruled, and I allowed you guys and probably the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks to be happy for once. But on a very personal level, this is my nightmare. So thank you for asking.
Mr. Mike Mayer, our Red Sox lost again last night at the hands of Ryan Mountcastle's 33rd homer of the season. How did that make you feel?
Valid. That made me feel good. You know, being as negative as I can be and just proving you wrong makes me feel warm inside.
Mike fully enjoys squashing my boy-like childhood optimism. Joe Pisapia, you are back with us just before the show started. As the host, I couldn't be happier about the good vibes that we were spilling behind the scenes. How are you doing? It's nice to have you back.
I'm doing great, but this is the last show. This is the fan appreciation day, and I feel like the energy's a little low. So just because Kai in the chat asked for it, hey yo, what's up, everybody? It's me, Joey P, Joe Pisapia. That is Dinger Dan Harris, bunt single Brendan Tuma, and the human rain delay Mike Mayer. Come on, everybody! It's the last day of the season. Let's buck up a little bit. And yeah, man, I am happy. I've been watching the show on the down low, keeping tabs on all of you. And I gotta openly admit, I have not watched much baseball in the last 6 weeks. However, it doesn't seem to matter because, you know, if you look back at some of the earlier stuff, you know, Dan Harris, Corbin Burns is gonna win the Cy Young. We already talked about the MVP stuff yesterday. I mean, you know, outside of one or two things, Dinger Dan Harris, I mean, I wish he had just been on board with me from day one, Brendan, because I could have won this man so much more money, but he's just so stubborn, Brendan. I don't know why he just doesn't listen to me more, but maybe next year that'll change. Who knows?
Dan, we have been talking about the Bryce Harper bet, the famous now Bryce Harper bet.
Which one?
Joe, I heard that you did not support Dan's hedging of Juan Soto. I looked at FanDuel odds this morning. Soto's down to plus 170. I think Dan has it at plus 2,800. Dan, correct me if I'm wrong on that.
This is accurate, and this is why I hate Joe. First of all, somebody back there, I don't know who's got somebody doing construction in their house. Chill out, whoever you are on our podcast right now. But yes, I have it at plus 2,800. Joe was very upset with me for hedging, as if, like, what are you doing? You got to let it ride. It's like we're Thelma and Louise going over the cliff. Doesn't matter whether or not you have an off ramp. Harper's probably going to win. There's very little, just a little hedge. I got to hedge.
Bad mojo. That's what it is.
My kid's got to eat, man. My kid's got to eat. What do you want?
Oh, but you're creating a bad mojo. What you're doing is you're stopping the momentum of one of the great bets in Major League Baseball history that we made together live on this show. And yes, if you hold on together, we go off the cliff together for better or worse. That's what you do. It's bros before pros here, as I told you the other day. So I don't understand why you even did that. But if you are going to, you know, shade it at all, at least it was my favorite player in the world, Juan Soto. So that's the only thing.
Exactly. Two things. Number one, first of all, we're going to win the Harper bet. I feel pretty confident in that. So yay for us. That's good. But I think that hedging is just a realistic strategy. Number two, I should have probably pointed this out initially. I'm very happy with the layout. You can find us at youtube.com/FantasyProsMLB, where the two like doofy optimists who just like look only at the bright side of life are up on the top, and the realistic humans down here who just sort of, you know, are able to sort of take a macro view of life, generally speaking, realistically what it is, are on the bottom. So that's where I'm going.
That's right.
Okay. Thank you, Wonky Penguin Bros. Before pros, the main objective we have for today's show, and I am going to be a little strict in the sense of keeping this going, is we are going to do a very early 2022 mock draft. 2 rounds. There's 4 of us, so in theory, we're each drafting 3 teams. Before we get to that, there's just a couple of real life baseball storylines from last night. I mentioned the Red Sox losing to the Orioles. The Mariners didn't play, but because of that, they are now tied for the second wild card spot. I famously said that I'm not taking the Mariners seriously just on yesterday's show. Mike, was this a mistake by me?
Yeah, it's all a mistake by you. It's been a mistake by you since July 30th.
Joe, as someone who has maybe not been looking at the standings every day the way we have, are you surprised by how things are shaking out with the wild card and the division races? The Giants are still chugging along. They're up to 105 wins. The Mariners, as I mentioned, are tied for that second wild card spot. I'd say something about the Mets, but we know that their season has long been over.
Well, I think I saw that stat on the Mets. It's the no team in the history of baseball has ever had a longer stint in first place and then finished under 500 for the year. Did anybody see that stat? I don't know if you guys mentioned that on the show yet this week, but that was stunning. So once again, the Mets always continue to find new ways to disappoint me, which is why I never get excited about the Mets, because I know how that story's going to end. I gotta tell you, I will eat it on the Giants. I just did not think they could keep it up. 105 wins. They've absolutely proved me wrong. They looked spectacular. The Seattle Mariners, I mean, it's stunning. And they've won 9 of their last 10 games here, and that is really a tribute to them. And I think if you're a Mariners fan right now, you're excited because this is such a year you didn't anticipate, and you're not going to believe this. The lawn guys just showed up. The lawn guys never show up on a Friday. They are here right now. I swear to God, they are outside. I don't know if we can hear them.
We can hear them. Oh, we can hear them.
Yeah, there you go.
You know
and
what?
now,
there's no garage
beautiful.
door, unfortunately. My wife is gone. She's getting her haircut, so we're not gonna have like the patented like lawn guys and garage door.
This is beautiful. I mean, this is very moving. Of all the days, I mean, they were supposed to be here Monday, and now it's Friday, and they're here, of course. But the Seattle Mariner fan base, I think long term is looking at these young players they have coming through the system, and they're finally excited again. And there hasn't been a lot to get excited about in a very long time. The Cardinals run has been spectacular. The Mets collapse has been equally spectacular. And once again, we learned the lesson of never count out the Braves, right? I mean, the Braves are always going to put things together. And I think it was in the beginning of the year, Dan, weren't they like the over-under, wasn't it like 82? I feel like for the Braves.
It always is. It always is, though, right? Like the Pythagorean, sort of like the way the projection systems work. They always project the Braves to stink. One of my very, very close friends is a huge Braves fan, and I got a little, aggressive with the teasing early on, and then when Acuna went down, and it's gonna bite me. So go Brewers, take them out right away, and obviously go Cards. Good luck. Let's have the Cardinals win the whole thing because Cardinals magic.
Okay. For our mock today. This is going to be interesting because we have a collection of people here. I have not stopped thinking about my 2022 first 2 rounds since mid-August. I think that upsets Dan Harris that I even put that much thought into it. We have Joe coming in fresh, still living in that April through mid-August baseball glory, and Mike Mayer, just his general disdain for seeing me be happy with this mock draft. So we are going to try to go through this as quickly as we can. If each person cannot take too long on their draft pick, that would be preferred. It's going to be snake style.
Or what?
What are you going to do about it over there? Out of curiosity. Like, just to be clear, you have no power. Joe is here. Joe has basically taken away any of your power that you had as a host. And Mayor and I have no interest in listening to you. So, guys, take your time on this one. Really think it through and make sure Tuma is scrambling to make his picks in 3 seconds. All right.
So this is where my knowledge. I gotta come in here and appease. So Joe has the first pick, and the reason is because we are going in the order of the current home run standings leaderboards. So Dan, maybe if you had performed a bit better in this,
fair,
you would have been having the first pick.
Good dig.
We're gonna go Joe, Dan, Mayer, Tuma, in that order.
If we're going in the real order of the home run contest, I don't think you get any picks.
Okay. Okay, Joe, if you could please so graciously keep
I
us
have
on track here.
I have one question for you. I assume this is your 5x5 roto and it's batting
Yes.
average at OBP. I just wanna set the stage.
Here
and
comes the
make
points
sure.
rant.
I just
Yeah.
well, you know,
I don't want to
because-
hear about
well,
points.
That's okay. Well, look, I know you guys think that 3-out save is clearly as worthy of the same, cumulative value as a win that takes 5 innings. I mean, that makes perfect sense logically.
Are you
speaking.
defending the win as the stat right now, Joe?
no,
I
I'm
don't know
defending-
how long it's been since you watched
I'm defending
baseball.
Dinger Dan the concept of why the hell is a stupid save as valuable as a stupid win when
Tuma,
one
do you
is
have a
5
mute?
times
Do you have a
harder to
mute
get?
button, Tuma?
No, he doesn't.
I've
man.
got a mute.
No, he
I do,
doesn't.
actually. So it's okay. It's all good. Hold on. Ready?
But anyway-
Go ahead, Joe. Say something. Sorry, I muted Joe. Go ahead, Joe. I'm just kidding. You're good now, Joe. You're good. You're off mute. Go ahead. All right,
I will
I'll
make the first pick. I will take Fernando Tatis Jr., my friends. Let's go.
And for the record, Mike is keeping track. The Lord of the List, as always, is keeping track of this in a Google Doc, and we're going to post it in the Discord and come back to look at it later in the season. So Joe goes with Tatis. Hard to argue against the power speed combo. We'll just have to monitor the shoulder injury. Mr. Dan Harris, you have the second pick.
If I know Acuna would,
If it was an OBP league, I would have done the same thing.
I
would've
understand.
taken-
I understand.
That's why I asked.
You took Soto first this year in
I did.
GFBI.
And I took Soto first in a lot of places, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's Soto is what's the on base percentage now? 600 for the year? I don't know. What is it? It's crazy.
We're talking too long. Tuma's going to get mad. Go ahead.
467.
Go ahead, Tuma.
Oh my
Go ahead.
goodness. Go ahead, Tuma.
He's mad.
Okay. So the top two picks, Tatis and Soto. Mike is up. Then it's going to go to me. Mike, you have the third pick.
So, just like Dan here, if I know Acuna's going to be healthy, I'll take Acuna. But since I don't, and since I also don't want you to be happy, I'm going to take Vlad.
Yes.
Okay. Mike takes Vlad Guerrero Jr. Hurts my heart a
I
little
just
bit.
rocked this world. He can't even go
I
on.
was like, okay, all right. I don't know what I'm going to do now. Go ahead.
This mock draft, we're going to be late in the second round, and the next person's analysis. Well, if I knew Acuna was going to be healthy,
Somebody can just say, I'll just take him next if nobody takes him. All right.
Well, we
Okay,
know
I'll
what the timetable is, guys. I mean, let's not pretend like we don't. I mean, he's probably going to miss the opening of the season, but maybe somewhere close to that. So just think of it in that way and stop being so grumpy, everybody. Jeez.
Do you think?
I left
do you
the
think
show
the
and
Steelers are
everybody
gonna
got
do
so
that?
grumpy.
We've actually been watching baseball. That's the problem, Joe. You know,
That's
we
why
haven't
you're
been-
so grumpy. That's why I'm
Correct.
in a much better mood.
Yeah. Go ahead, Tuma. If
Okay,
Ronald
I
and Acuna
will-
were healthy, would you take him right here, Tuma? Just want to check.
yes, I do think. Okay, so my just quick thoughts on it is like it's just one of those classic things. Anyone who comes out with the rankings, in October, it's Acuna's probably going to be more middle to late. As we get closer and closer and get reports on his health, it'll inch up. I do think there's reasons to think he might not run as much early on. He's still great with the bat in general. Just put me down for Acuna at 4, and
Okay.
then Mike, you have this going snake style.
No,
Yeah,
you
is
go
that not
one.
Okay.
Are we going 1 through 12, or does Tuma now get to pick 5? Is that how it works?
I have
Or are
it
we
going
doing-
snake, so Tuma goes 4 and 5.
Okay.
Okay, but is it a 4-person draft, or is it like a first? Go ahead.
It's technically 4 people, but we each pick 3 times per round.
Got it. So this is like the 5th pick in the draft, a new team, right?
Yeah,
Is that-
yeah.
is that
I
what
would say
you're
like the main exercise is to get the
Got
top
it.
24.
Go for it.
Names.
Before you
With
make the
number
next pick,
5.
Wait. Before you next his pick, I just want to know: is Acuna healthy? Do we know his?
Even if not, he's
Status?
on his team, so he's there. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right.
Go ahead, Tuma.
With the 5th pick to hurt Joe this time, I do think it's Shohei Ohtani. Even if you only get stats you can use him as a hitter or pitcher, it obviously gives you a ton of flexibility. I think he still needs to be a top 5 pick. Could have even taken him above Acuna.
If you're playing in a league, guys, where Ohtani is pitcher and hitter, there's no way he's not the consensus 1-1 every time. I mean, you're getting 2 players at once, correct? We're all in
If
agreement
you
on
get
that?
both the stats
Okay.
for him,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, I
definitely.
understand some people say, well, I don't like the risk of that because he's still pitching. I understand that, but I think they're wrong.
Yep.
So,
I
all
think that's
let's- Okay, very good. I just want to make sure we're in the right spot. So, who's up next now? This is Mike
Mayor.
again. Oy.
Go ahead, Mayor. There is a right answer here, Mayor.
There is a right answer.
Correct.
All right.
There is
Let me
one
go look
correct
for it.
answer.
It's not Ryan Mountcastle. That's too early still, right?
Yeah, it's Austin Riley, but it's fine. Whatever you want to do.
So I've actually considered Ohtani with my with my first pick, but I wanted to take Vlad from Tuma, and I also didn't want to talk too much and ask too many questions about the format and whether you get him as a pitcher and hitter, so I just let him fall. So I'm going to go with Trey Turner here.
That is the correct answer. Sorry, Joe, I muted your mic because I literally can't hear myself think with your long guys. As soon as they're gone, you're talking. Nobody can hear you. Ready? Here you go. Go ahead.
I muted my I muted my mic as well because it got so loud so close to the.
It's fine.
I mean, it is hilarious.
So I don't know about you guys. To me, there's like that top. What is that? 6? Assuming that Acuna is healthy. Turner is a guy who I loved like this year and I think was undervalued. And now, obviously, with the second base eligibility and with the steals, I think he's going to go. Back to me, right, Tuma?
Yes.
I'm going to keep moving. Don't worry. I am not going to go with Bryce Harper, who's the best player ever. I'm going to go with Jose Ramirez, who just kind of, I feel like I never thought about Jose Ramirez this entire year. And then it's like, oh, here's 36 homers and 26 steals and 100. Like, just awesome, dude. He's still just 28. I don't care that he's the only player in that lineup. That's my pick.
That was going to be my pick, so well done. Very
Yay!
Nice. By the way, Dan, did you notice that Paul Goldschmidt has more than 30 home runs this year? I don't know if you.
To be fair, I gave you absolute credit for Goldschmidt for every time. If you ever listened to us, I was constantly like, kudos.
I never caught any of those.
Yeah,
I never caught the kudos. Never.
What
did.
if he wins the MVP of dragging the cards there? Oh no! Let's put a bet. Let's hedge right now. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh God, stop it! All right. Well, I guess Bryce Harper's still available, so I have to stay on brand here. So, give me Bryce Harper, the best second round pick any boy could ask for this past year, and goodness knows I had a lot of shares of him. And this is tough because it's like, okay, do you start now to backtrack with the Trout talent,
right?
The Marcus Semien breakout? You're looking at a whole different group now, and you have to kind of make a choice. And I can tell you right now that choice is not going to be a pitcher. I am done with pitching. Just collectively, I just want to get rid of all of it together. I'm so over it. I think I'm going to go with the breakout Marcus Semien. Let's do it. I mean, even if it comes back to just a 30-90 season as a second baseman, I think that's good enough for me with the power and the speed. So let's do that. Second base is a hot mess. So give me Bryce Harper or Marcus Semien there.
Are you assuming he stays with the Blue Jays?
I think that would be very wise for them to do that, to keep him around. And I think fiscally they can make it work because they still have, first of all, like they just opened up the bank account for Springer last year. But they really don't have to pay the rest of these guys for a while. Some of these guys coming through the system, so they can afford to be competitive. And I think they smell blood in the water a little bit with this division. So why not bring him back? He performed so well. Somebody might outbid them at the end of the day, but we shall see. But right now he's healthy, right? Like he's not. What's his timetable like Acuna? I just want to make sure that we're okay. Yeah, it's fine.
Assuming he's healthy.
Assuming he's healthy, we'll do that. Yeah. So
Harper and Semien, 8 and 9. So we're going back to Dan and then to Mike. No pitchers so far. This is something that in the slight little discourse I've seen over early 2022 rankings that league or industry wide, it does seem like pitching is going to get bumped down universally. Could that create an opportunity to jump in? We'll find out with Dan's 10th pick.
It is going to create an opportunity for me to jump in. I'm going to take my favorite pitcher, Mike Trout. Trout is actually my pick. Look, the stolen bases are gone, in my opinion, but I kind of thought they were gone probably coming into the year, and I had him 5th. So I realized he missed the whole year with the calf. He's got injury issues, but he's so dominant offensively, other than the steals, that I think now, what is this, the 10th pick we said? I think that's the spot that I would be comfortable taking Mike Trout, pick 10.
Mr. Mayor.
So now I have a decision. Do I keep avoiding pitching? Do I assume DeGrom is healthy? Do we go down that road? Because I'm not assuming he's healthy.
Wrong. He's going to be healthy, and he's going to pitch 250 innings, and he's going to have a 0.5 ERA.
Oh, okay. Interesting. That might change my thought. I'm still not going to pick him. Instead, I'm going to go Corbin Burns.
Number 1 pitcher, Corbin Burns. I like it.
I do think there's obviously a case to be made for that on a start-by-start basis. Burns might not have the sheer volume of Cole or Wheeler or Woodruff of some of the others, but on a start-by-start basis, he has been the best pitcher in baseball this season. That goes to me for 2. I think one of them, and I'm surprised Mike didn't take him because I know he's a fan, one of them needs to be Bo Bichette. He just does everything across the board in a roto league. And
that was actually my other pick, but I was hoping to get him
make
past
it back to you. Okay.
Yeah.
And
It's
this is
Tuma, man. Read the room.
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I do think that this is, a spot again. Oh, we're looking at pitching. I think there's one more hitter that needs to go. Mookie Betts. So this team would be starting with Bichette and Mookie Betts. Very well-rounded for the Roto format. It goes back to Mike and then Dan and then Joe for two.
So back to me. You took probably the other two hitters I was considering, and so I will double dip on pitching and go Walker Buehler.
Wow.
Okay.
It's up to me now, right, Tuma? And I have Trout as my pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, DeGrom's still my number one. Like, I understand, like, the injury concerns, but the bottom line is, like, doesn't look like this is long-term issue, number one. Thankfully, they shut him down. Like, I will take the best pitcher in baseball as with a Mike Trout and Jacob DeGrom, two pinnacles of health, and two guys who are going to just last the entire season. I'm in great shape. So that's my pick.
I can feel the IL moves already on this team.
I've got. By the way, we have unlimited IL spots here, right?
Oh, good. Oh, good.
We're fine. Go ahead.
Goodness.
Yeah, Joe,
all right.
you're up.
Give me Cedric Mullins. That's what I want.
Woo.
Give me a 30-30 guy with a high batting average. Come on. Yeah. He hits leadoff, so I don't get all the RBI, but that's okay. That's okay.
Is this a Marcus Simeon, Cedric Mullins beginning?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Well, it's also got a guy named Tatis and Harper, so I've already won the steals category.
Aren't we doing like 12 different teams? Like,
I don't know.
All right, doesn't matter.
I've been drinking since 8:30.
All right,
I mean,
go
come
ahead.
on. Let's get this going. And I mean, I thought we were just gonna run down. I was like told.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're good.
We were just gonna run down a draft, and now I'm like drafting 4 different teams. I can barely draft one team right now. Anyway, so so Cedric Mullins. And I'm just looking for value for where it should be. And let's see here. Who is still available that I want on my team? Is this like one of those 12 catcher leagues too? I just want to make sure I know what I'm doing here.
Yeah, Salvi Perez still available too much, just so you know. He's still there for you, buddy.
No, maybe not. Maybe I'll go that route. No, I guess I got to take a pitcher. So let's see. Is Max Scherzer coming back and pitching next year, boys? I would imagine so.
Oh, definitely.
He's got to be.
Then let's take old man Max Scherzer, because that guy actually seems like he wants to go out there and pitch. So I'll take
Zero
that guy.
signs of decline from Scherzer. So far, we go to Dan, Mike, Tuma for two.
I already know Dan's pick.
Who is my pick so far, Tuma? From there?
This team, it was Jose Ramirez.
Jose Ramirez. Okay. Let's get started with a very, very safe Freddie Freeman, then. Not going to steal that much, but Freddie Freeman is my guy. He's so safe. God, I love having him. I know he doesn't steal, but still. Awesome. I'll take him.
Mr. Mayor.
Well, I thought for sure Dan was going to pick this guy, so I will go Kyle Tucker.
Ooh, that is one that I've been discussing. For my two, I think Garrett Cole needs to be one of them. I know he wasn't as consistent down the stretch, but the sheer volume is still there. There's no injury concerns. We know he's a workhorse. I think that has to be one of them. For the other one, and this is such a roto pick that I could get an eye roll from Joe Pisapia, but I'll go with Luis Robert again to get that well-rounded power, speed. The batting average, he's not going to hit 350 next year like he is right now, but even the XBA on Baseball Savant is in the 290s, and that will suffice.
Holy crap, Mitch Haniger has 38 home runs? When did that happen?
One of my favorite things to do, and this would be with something with like you could do with Joe right now, is people who have just have tuned out of baseball the second half to be like, hey, guess who leads MLB in homers? And then you eventually tell them it's Salvador Perez, and they're like, what?
Who?
And just
what?
Yeah, some of the crazy stats.
Well, Sal Perez, I knew that, but I and it was just funny because Mitch Haniger was Dan in my favorite end of the draft season. Hey, he looks healthy. Just go take a free square on Mitch Haniger. 38 home runs. That's a stunning number there for him. Look, now I know why the Mariners are so damn good.
Mike, Dan, and Joe to close it out for our top 24.
So I'll go right back to that Astros and go with Jordan Alvarez.
Okay.
That's
locking
fine.
In that power. Dan
Whatever.
and Joe, our last two picks.
I'm gonna go. You guys know I like apparently injured. All right, mute yourself, buddy. You guys know that I like the injured pitcher route. I'm gonna go with the Biebs. I'm gonna go with Shane Bieber right here, assuming that's fully healthy. obviously was a top 3 starter coming into the year. So I will take Bieber.
I have to unmute myself to make a pick, and yes, the lawnmower is literally right out in front of the window.
Transition.
And, speaking of lawnmowers being right outside the window and teasing this last pick a little bit, we're getting very close here to shaving down to the very bare end of the season.
Oh boy!
And when you do that, you have to be very careful. And when you do that, the only tool that you could possibly use is the Lawnmower 4.0. That's what you need, the Lawnmower 4.0 by Manscaped. Manscaped.com, 20% off and free shipping with the code leading off. You can get the performance package. It's got the boxer briefs. It's got the travel bag. It's got the Lawnmower 4.0, the ball crop deodorant, the reviver, all the things that you need for your things can be had at Manscaped.com. And, Tuma's a bit of a tease when it comes to the Manscaped breeds, as I've learned yesterday. It was very, very upsetting there. All those segues that you did not take. But hopefully you will take my advice and you will make sure that you get yourself a Lawnmower 4.0. And look, Christmas is around the corner. So this is going to be the greatest gift ever. 20% off, free shipping. Go get it now at Manscaped.com. Merry Christmas, everybody. Your balls, your jingle balls, will thank you. And my last pick is going to be Rafael Devers. How about that? Give me Rafi Devers. Again, why does nobody love this guy as much as me? I'm here with 2 Red Sox guys in this stupid draft, and I'm the guy that takes Devers? What's wrong with you two? My God.
I thought about it.
Well, you should have thought harder. That's what you should.
The problem is I've been watching the Red Sox for the last 6 weeks. That's the problem.
Oh, goodness. Self-loathing is safe for me and Dan as Met fans.
You should be a Mets fan.
Yeah.
Like you really should be.
We invented self-loathing. You've won 3 championships in the last 20-something years. I haven't seen a championship since I was 8 years old. So don't even start with me, Mayor, about your Mr. Red Sox aren't any good. Stop it. Just stop.
Angry.
All right. A couple things. Number one, thank goodness Joe did that Manscaped read. I thank you, Joe, because I had no transition lined up and I was wondering where I was going to go.
Speaking of transitioning, no, just
All right, with our final few minutes. So that's our top 24. We're going to post it in the Discord. We're going to come back and look at it and laugh about it and laugh at Joe taking Marcus Semien 9th overall.
Yes.
But that we'll all be doing that next spring. Lord of the List, Mr. Mayor, can you fill us in on what's been happening with the home run leaderboard?
Sure. So Joe left us a long time ago, called Bryce Harper in perpetuity, and just rose right to the top of the list. But he has been caught in the last couple of weeks. So the last night, the top of the leaderboard remains unchanged. Turf Dorgerson is up to 33 after getting 2 home runs from Byron Buxton. Brian 92271 is up to 25 thanks to 2 home runs from Pete Alonso. And Moonshine Runner is up to 21 after calling Corey Seager. So the top of the list is Randy and Go Cards, who, as true team players, have been calling Bryce Harper since getting above Joe so that Joe can't catch them.
You know what? Yes, listen, that's gamesmanship. I like that. I respect that. But it taints your win. So just understand that the rest of this offseason, it totally taints.
What taints your win is not watching baseball for 6 weeks and picking the MVP into perpetuity. That's what taints your win.
Well, Dan, when you make people thousands of dollars, I think you deserve a little bit of leeway with these kind of things. For thousands of people, if they had just put money on it when I told them to, thousands of dollars. I mean, you put $1,000 on Bryce Harper at 30-1, you'd be a lot richer.
Say the word thousands again. Say the word thousands.
Thousands. But that's okay. That's okay, because it's funny you bring up Pete Alonso there too, Mayor, because it's that controversial Pete Alonso home run that you took away from me earlier in the year, which right now is going to be the difference of me winning and losing. And I'll tell you what, Go Cards.
We could have taken 2 away from you. To be fair,
that's
we
true,
gave you
Joe.
1.
That's true. They gave you
the
1.
Mike, the adults are talking. Just stop. All right, so here's what I want you to do. I want you guys out there, if you take Bryce Harper tonight, that's fine. That's on you. That's on your conscience. But if you really want to win this thing now.
You don't have to call Bryce Harper the rest of the way.
You can
make
also,
your own
you're
pick.
actually here. You can make another call, Joe.
I can, and believe me, I've thought about taking Pete Alonso just for spite, because Dan knows there's nothing I like more than a good spite store, hence all of the Shohei Ohtani rostership that I have this year. But you know what? I got to think about that. I'm gonna wait and see, and maybe I'm gonna force the hand of everybody else. Has Go Cards already made their pick? by the way.
Not that I've
Why
seen,
don't
but
you
they
get
do it in
into,
Discord.
why don't you get into Discord, Joe, and
I
look
am
at the
into
Home Run
Discord.
Call channel?
You know,
and then
the
you can
problem
make
is I
your
have
call.
a taskmaster boss who just gives me, "Fine, can you do this? Can
Yeah,
I
you're
do
right.
this?
You're absolutely
Can I
right.
do
It's
this
too
live
hard to get
stream?
in that channel.
Hey, Joe, you want to host an NBA show? Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
You
yeah.
should
Mm,
do
yeah.
something that you would watch instead of baseball. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so that is where we're at with the home run
Great class.
leaderboards in Discord, Joe. This could be your chance if you want. I think the main slate usually starts at 7:10. You could make a different call at 6:55, that type thing.
Yep.
So you can sneak it by them, and Randy or Go Cards might have Bryce Harper. So there's going to be a little strategy down the stretch. Dan, do we want to do DFS or should we move on to our home run calls?
I couldn't care less. I'm not the host of this show today, my friend.
Okay,
You're up.
I'm gonna move past DFS. I want us to get these home run calls. I want us to end on a high note here. Mike, we're gonna start with you first. And to the Peanuts and Cracker Jacks listening, remember to do these. Put your call in the Discord. This is going to be more interesting down the stretch than that American League wildcard spot. We go to you, Mayor.
So I guess I'll post the DFS notes that I worked on this morning in Discord for wasting my time. So for my home run call, who would I be if I didn't go with Ryan Mountcastle against the lefty tonight?
Yeah, that's the definite call, man. Come on.
Okay. Joe, are you going to give it to us in Discord, or have you thought it through?
Oh, I'm gonna give it to you in Discord. All right. No. I'm gonna do it here. I want to hear everybody else's home run calls first.
Okay.
Well, Tuma never makes any, so you don't have
Tuma
to
doesn't make any. That's not joke. He refuses. Like
What, to make a call or to make a correct call?
To make a call.
Oh,
He won't even participate. He's the worst. By the way, Mayor, where are we on the total number?
1261.
Joe, at one point I think you said we weren't going to make 1,000. Just to be clear,
I was a
guys,
little worried. We had a long cold streak there.
We gotta put it. Tuma, you gotta make a call because we gotta try to get to the 1,300. We've got 3 days to do it. So
That's
let's
impressive,
go.
by the way.
I am gonna go. I was very strongly considering going with Renfroe for the 4th straight day, but I feel like I have used up my Renfroe, and also I can't root for the Red Sox right now, Tuma. I have to be on Mayor's side right now that enjoys. So for you, Tuma, I will make my call of Vladdy here against. I don't even know who's pitching for the Orioles, but you got to go after the Orioles. They need to win.
Neither do they.
Be in the lineup. Neither do they. I don't know who it is, but I know Vladdy can hit him. So Vladdy's my call officially.
Joe, are you going to keep us on pins and needles heading into the Discord talk tonight?
No, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make my pick. And by taking Bryce Harper in perpetuity, I also gave up Bryce Harper day games. They were not on the main slate at night. So, there was a lot of risk there. And I took that risk. I also took that risk at 30-1. I also took that risk in the second round of Bryce Harper. And I'm not going to, like some people on this show, just get off the wagon just because you want to hedge or they want to be safe or they want to do something like that. No. Bryce Harper is the pick. I'm going to be a man of integrity. And I'm going to stay with Bryce Harper. Now, if the other people want to play
Is that just because
other
you
game,
couldn't think of any other baseball players?
He doesn't know anybody else in baseball anymore.
Oh, Mike
so
Mayer,
long.
you kill me. But seriously, integrity matters. I have made my selection, and I just came here also to say that's an impressive number from the Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I cannot wait to get this started again next year. The home run calls were wildly successful and fun, and I'm also glad that Dan Harris made it back up the leaderboard, where he deserves to be as well. He was a massive comeback.
I was quite cold for quite a while.
We also, real quick, our numbers are a little bit like, in terms of like people making calls every day are much lower now than they were like at the height of the summer. But we still have people like someone joined the contest 2 days ago.
I saw that.
That's
awesome.
amazing.
That's amazing. Next year, guys, we're starting it from day one. So it's going to be crazy, right? Like we should set a goal of how many home runs.
And the winner gets Mike Mayer. He comes to your house. You have to support him.
I feel like the person who comes in last
following
gets
season.
Mayer.
No, they get Tuma.
Okay. Once we wrap this up in a minute here, I am going to be absolutely hurling over the side of my desk from the awkwardness that I inject into this podcast. But on a real note, I think we want to wrap up the show. We do just want to say, thank you to all the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks who have been here the whole time. It has been really cool still doing the show into September and still having people tune in. Major credit, of course, to Joe and Dan for getting this thing started this year and creating the format for the show and just the all around good vibes of the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks. Joe and Dan, is there anything you want to say before we sign off for the final time here?
I just want to say you guys did a terrific job of continuing on with the show, and it's just a fantastic job. Like I said, I've been watching you guys. I have you on the background while I'm working on the show sheets for football and stuff. Yeah, the background. I don't want you in the foreground. Have you looked at yourself in the mirror lately? Anyway, here's the thing. You got to don't ever get into a war of words with an Italian from Brooklyn, Mayor. You got to watch these things. It's never going to work out for you, okay? But seriously, you're doing a wonderful job, Mike. Brennan, you too. And check out those boys because they're going to be writing in the Black Book this year for baseball too, which I'm very excited to bring these two guys on. It's such a pleasure meeting you guys, working with you guys, and getting to know you guys. I think you're doing a terrific job. And Dan Harris, this was our baby. This was our joy. We started this thing, baby, from the bottom, and now we're here. And I love the evolution of this show and the weird cult-like following it has. Is just you talk about the successes at the end of the year. We have to look back at what the successes and the failures are. This has definitely been a success. I think leading off in this community we created has been fantastic, despite all of Dan's negativity. So I just want to say thank you to everybody out there. Dan,
would you like me? Yeah, all right. I'd wait for Tuma to give it to me. That's fine. Okay. I think you guys did an adequate job. Joe and I left. It's fine. No. In truth. We really enjoyed the show. Joe and I talked about it a lot, where it wasn't really even like it wasn't like an obligation. We were like, this sucks of baseball in the morning, no big deal. And it was fun, and we obviously grew to know and love our listeners. And then we started the home run call in Discord and everything like that. It was great. When we had to sort of transition a little bit more to football, and we turned it over to Tuma, whose entire life goal has been to host this podcast. Not like an exaggeration, not hyperbole. Actually said, I really just would like to host this show, which is fine. I said, okay, let's see what it does. And I thought, Tuma in particular, you did a fantastic job. Mary, you were great until you basically were like, I have a real life and I can't do the show every day, and I have to come in. So the fact that I was on the show so much, I apologize to everybody throughout September. But I will say, Tuma, you did a great job. Mayor, you did a great job. Joe, you were missed as much as I tease you. Like, obviously the energy and the excitement that you bring, it was nice to have it back here again. We're not, we're not going to not do the show anymore, Tuma. Do we have even an off-season plan right now? What you want to do? I know you want to talk movies and stuff like that all day long.
It's in your Slack messages, the whole layout of what we're going to do over the next 2 months.
I don't read your Slack messages, Tuma. By the way, if you ever text or message Tuma, just be prepared to basically clear 4 hours to get through any message that he sends, because it's like freaking 1,000 words.
Okay. We've said it all. It's gone long enough. It is now October 1st, and we're still doing baseball. We're going to sign off here for one last time. Unless we have it my way, we'll be back in a few weeks, within a month. We'll see where it goes. Hopefully we'll go live. For Joe Pizzapia, for Mike Mayer, Lord of the List, for Dan Harris, this has been Brennan Tuma, and leading off, presented by Manscaped. Goodbye, everyone.
Go Mariners.